Do you struggle with connecting with others? Today we're talking about how to foster a connection with others and build a global community on this episode of Coffee with Tea. Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of Coffee with Tea. I'm your host, Tanya Tyler, and I'm excited because we're going to be talking to Miss Annie Hardock, who's going to explain to us how you can get your own network started because she did with her entrepreneur side. But I don't want to share her story. I'm going to welcome Miss Annie to the show. So welcome, Miss Annie.
Thank you, Tanya. I love your energy and thank you for the opportunity to invite me for an interview today to talk to your audience.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Like I said, we had a great conversation and you are a fellow networker like I am. So, before we really dive into how you created your own network, please tell a little bit about who you are, what you do, and, how have you been dealing with the reopening of this whole pandemic after the whole pandemic? Let us know what's going on with you, Miss Annie.
Wow, there's a few questions in there.
The floor is yours, my friend. The floor is yours.
Just love to let everyone know that I'm actually an educator, an entrepreneur, and a networker. And I was born and raised actually in Hong Kong back in the 60s, early 60s. I just need to tell everyone that I'm turning 60 later this year because it affects the experience, like what I'm going to tell people. Right? That's why I want people to know about when I was born and that information. But that's what brought me out, because of my childhood experience, being born and raised in Hong Kong in a family of 9 children with 9 children. I was the youngest. And I knew back then that, education is my way out, out of poverty, because I wasn't born in a rich family, right? But my dad worked really hard and he was an entrepreneur. And that's how I got that entrepreneur spirit. So when I came to Canada, actually in 1980 for higher education, and that's my goal. I was really clear about that. I need the education to get myself ahead in life. And it's lifelong learning. That's what inspired me every single day to get up, wake up and get going. Right? There's something always curious. That's what a lifelong learner is always curious. There's more in life, right? To learn. So that's my background. And as an immigrant, and then I worked my way up in a career in the financial industry. But then I noticed in 1996, shortly after my son was born, and I just thought 9-to-5 job is not really my type of life that I want. And I wanted to spend more time with my child. And that's when I started a home-based business. So that was 1996. And that's when the internet was just kind of new. And I moved into a small town. They actually hardly have much, even not talking about internet, talking about even a computer, not everyone has that, right? So I started that with a vision that I can create a business and being able to stay home just because I have the system background, technical system background. And I know that I have the tools and the skills that I can make it. But what I did not have was a community to support because, like I said, we moved into a small town that we didn't know anyone. And that's when I knew how important a network is. And that's what I wanted to share today with your audience about how important it is to have your network, whether it is for your business or even for life, right? So I would like to then bring on about my networking experience, just because when I first started my business, like I said, I didn't have anyone. And I just thought, where am I going to find customer, right? And the worst is not being accepted by the new community that I just moved in, right? Because it's a very small town. It is a tight-knit environment. And I was maybe one of the handful Asian that lived there, right? So I just thought, how am I going to do this? It's really tough. And I just thought, well, I need to find my tribe.
Right, right. You know what? I love what you're talking about that, because before we dive into it, there's like a couple of things that I've picked up so far that you had. It's like you had a confidence in who you were when you were traveling, and then like you said, you were looking for your network, right? So tell us a little bit more about how how did you set up this whole thing as like, I gotta find my tribe. How was that, especially like back in 1996? How did that mindset come about? Like, I gotta find my peoples.
Well, actually, it was through a racial comment being said to me in my first meeting, trying to, connect with people, right? There were only 7 like business people in the council. When it was said and no one said anything. And then I just said, how come no one responded? And then I just thought, well, because everyone is in business, everyone mindful of what they say, because it's a small town, it's a small market. That's what it is. It's such a small market, and you just want to take a little percent of it. And in a small town, that's what it is. It's word of mouth. And then also it's the relationship, right? So, in politics in Canada, everyone just by voting, right? It's not about your education. It's about how well you're connected. Because in a small town, all that needed was 500 votes. Because back then I checked how many, did someone get into such a power that and it was just 500 votes. I just thought, well, if you have enough friends, family, and
it's like you
can't get that much.
The numbers game, which leads to the math.
That's what I just thought. Oh my God. It's not how much I got my education in mathematics, and I did work for the big, like one of those top financial bank industry, and I built my own system, because I was technical, right? Like building for different financial firms. So it wasn't the education to get you. So that's when I decided that yes, I need to connect with people and get people to know me, because even when I first tried to promote my business, which is an internet-based online business, because in a small town, they just thought, why do they need you? They know everyone except me. I didn't know anyone. They were wondering, like when I put a little flyer poster, and selling like this, and back then I also sell the internet access, right? And they say, what's your name? What's the name? I just thought, well, I used to work in the corporate world. We don't put our name on the flyer about what we sell. So that's when I started learning about the personal relationship. So instead of transactional, it becomes personal. So that's important. And I think that's a very good experience that I learned from working, building a business in a small town, and knowing how important it is to build rapport with other people in order for them to support your business, right? Because when the corporate world is more all transactional, right? So then I start to reflecting what I learned from my dad. Because as a little kid, I couldn't understand why my dad took us, it could be four times to a restaurant in a day, because he was trying to sell. He's a wholesaler, and he's trying to sell to restaurants. That's how he made his network, built his network by, going and talk to the business owner, the restaurant owners, right? But we just tag along, and I just keep eating. Right? But there's the reason behind. So it's more about relationship.
Right.
Transactional. So yes.
I had a question. You talk about the personal relationship, and you being a networker and stuff like that. What's one common mistake you see that people make when they're networking? Do you see a common mistake among people who are networking?
Well, if people only thinking of transactional, that's in their conversation, people will sense it. What do you because the first conversation is they trying to sell you something, right? But sometimes it's like I do the same. Sometimes people think that I'm trying to sell them something, Actually, it's not just because I'm so passionate about what I do. I was just telling them, the benefits of this, right? That's what I'm helping. Like I wanted to help, right? Say, like I have the children mental math program for 12 years. That's one of my businesses, right? And but it is for me that I really want to help a child that might be like have difficulties in just adding two numbers, right? Like if it's like 8 years old, 10 years old, they're still counting the fingers. I thought it's just something so easy to fix. I can help you to fix it. So it's not trying to sell the parents with something. I just want to help you, right? So it depends on how you get your message across. So like if you don't think of it as a sale, you think of it as a service. I help you. I can help you to get solve this problem and help your child, like to get better in mathematics. It's not like a pain, like they're losing their confidence and they're not being able to do just simple math, which is very simple. So that's what the mindset. So like you might say, some people approach you, the first thing they're doing is sales, but you have to see what's their intention. Was their intention really trying to help you? And I think you can sense in the conversation, but that's important is about when you start to know a person, right? When you know a person and they say, well, that's the normal, right? Like say, I speak with like passion and I tell you what really helped and I'm telling you the truth, right? So it's gaining that trust, right? So that's why I find networking, what's so important is if I cannot communicate with a person that I meet, imagine how am I going to do business with that person?
Right. Oh, that's a very good point. And I want to, Annie has been dropping nuggets and I want to we're at the halfway mark. And if you've been picking up her nuggets, please give us a thumbs up, maybe follow up with a comment down below, because I'm going to ask her, while, she's a master networker and stuff like that. What advice would you give to people who are starting their networking journey? Because when they're starting this new business, they're a new entrepreneur. What maybe some tips that you would give somebody who's new to networking, who's never really experienced it? First
of all is knowing your why. Why are you doing what you do, right? Because if you're not even confident in what you're trying to build in your business, like who you're serving, yes. Who you're serving is really important. If you don't know, you're kind of not having the message to the right people that you wanted to talk to, right? And also, like, the why is what's your vision, what type of life that you wanted to create. Because I always see creating a business is just to get to how you want to live, right? So you have to be clear on that. When you yourself being cleared on what you want to do and what your life vision is and the confidence of what you can contribute, then I think the other people can received it properly and also understand where you're coming from, right? So it is helping your self-confidence that help others to believe in you too. If you cannot believe what you're doing, it's hard for someone else to do that for you, right? Yes, so I think it's the clear message, and then also because you know so well about what you try to achieve and go. So even if you're talking to, that's important. I said, like, who are you trying to give the message to? Because sometimes in a networking environment, not everyone is your target, right? So don't get discouraged when someone just don't understand what you're doing and they have no interest in what you do, because they might not be actually your client, right? So I had that experience. Is like I was writing a book and it was in like a workshop, and then we break out into small group. And then it was very important that, like, because I already have like knowing what the book is about, and it's about entrepreneurship. And it was about 4 pillars of entrepreneurship. And it's relating to health, wealth, personal growth, and business development, because I believe it's not just about the business. You need your whole life being balanced in order to have a successful business. And when I was in a conversation with a small group, the first group I was talking to, and that couple, they didn't understand what I'm saying, right? And then I thought, well, is it me, like what I'm trying to create? And then I did not change my message when I gone with the second group, and they all understand what I'm saying. And then I started to find out more about the background of the other couple. And then I thought, oh, they only started entering entrepreneurship, right? So they had many years of like corporate background. I just saying, now it helps me to narrow down my book. Who am I writing this book for? It's those people already have the entrepreneurial experience, but they want to get to the next level, to have a more fulfillment and achievement in their whole life, not just about the business, right? So you need to find the people who target. But the worst thing is if you wander, you change it when someone don't understand. Okay, let me try this. Just change the message and say something else, right? But so knowing what you're doing and where you're going, that's important. Thank you.
Oh, I love it. Like I said, those are really good golden nuggets. So thank you, Miss Annie. I really do appreciate it. We're down to the last 5 minutes, and I want to ask before we close out and stuff like that, what's the one message that you want people to take away from your interview today?
Have a life vision. Because I always see like having a business or having a career, it's just a vehicle to help you to get to the life that you want to live, right? So if you're clear on that, then you can be very precise on any small decision that you have to make, because you know what type of life that you wanted to create for yourself. Okay?
Right. So thank you. And I want to also, for those who are looking for more information about what you do, I know you mentioned the book and stuff like that. So please tell where all the great stuff that you have happening and that people can connect with you, Miss Annie.
Yeah, thank you. By the way, let me finish about the network. So because the networking group that I built for 25 years almost, it's just a local business network. But throughout COVID, for the past 2 years, I've been networking online, and my vision is building the global network, which is called United Networks for Growth. And that's to connect someone like you, Tanya. You have your own network, right? So, and then I actually know a lot of the founder or organizer of their own like networks, right? Which I also belongs to. And that's what I wanted to do, is being able to connect all the networks together and the resources together, and we can all success, get the rise up together, right? So that's my goal. And then my vision for my business for the children is to deliver high quality, affordable, and accessible education to children around the world. That's why the network becomes the global network instead of the local, because my vision is to deliver the education across the world, right? And I'll leave you with the audience, the book that, again, together with like, this is called The Asian Women Who Boss Up, which just released a year ago, and it got to #1 bestseller on Amazon. And that's how powerful is when everyone start together and collaborate and do a lot of things like together, right? So I have the link, which I have provided Tanya, and you can get the link, and there will be my bio in the link, and you can also get a signed copy of this book. Go to that link, right? So I'm actually will be at the Women Who Boss Up conference in Las Vegas next week. So May 18th to May 20th. That's when I will be there. And well, I hope to bring back more information and network. I'm actually building more of my network in the around the globe. Yes, I am very connected also with other Asian organizations. Yes, and for those who are looking to expand their business to Asia, through Hong Kong, Hong Kong is where my birthplace, and just connect with me too, right?
Well, thank you, Miss Annie. You have gifted us with tons of great knowledge and some insight. So thank you so much, and congratulations on your book.
Thank you. Thank you,
And
Tanya.
this has been a great conversation. Like I said, the 20 minutes goes by so fast, and I would love to. This is my unofficial question: is Miss Annie, would you be willing to come back and we have a deeper dive into some more subjects of what you got going on?
Of course. I was hoping that you asked me to come back. It's not the first time, actually. I had podcaster that invite me to go back and talk. So yes, thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. Like I said, I love your personality. And like I said, we only skimmed half the stuff, that she's got going on. So I would always love to continue this conversation. So again, thank you for your insight and thank you for your wisdom.
Thank you.
And I also want to remind everybody who tuned in today that please, feedback is welcome. Links that Annie mentioned will be posted down in the description box below. So please make sure you check out those juicy gems that I have posted down there in the description box. If you enjoyed today's show, please give us a thumbs up, hit that like button, let me know, maybe follow up with a comment down below. And again, if you enjoy all the insight and you want to continue seeing more of the insight of the great guests that we have coming on, please hit that subscribe button over there. And remember, take things in stride, go with the flow, and create your own path. And we will see you back here on another episode of Coffee with Tea. All right, bye-bye.